Alright, let's cut some foam. I'll be doing this on a Proxxon hot wire table. This thing is really useful for foam work. I'd say it's nearly essential for modular terrain. Modular terrain demands pretty precise cuts if you want everything to fit together. The sides of this offcut have no straight edges, so we'll have to make some. This bit I'm pushing up against the fence is the closest it has to a straight edge. So I take out a speed square and hold it against that approximate edge, then press it against the fence, making sure the square is both securely held against the foam and flush with the fence. Then I run it through the hot wire to get a nice clean cut. Next, I hold the speed square against that cut and flush to the fence again, and we can straighten out this rough edge. Checking it with the speed square here, we can see that we've got a nice right angle. A note about the foam. This is Foamular brand XPS insulation foam, available in the US. It's nice for this project because it's an inch thick, so that dimension is basically pre-cut. That said, always double check your foam thickness. There's often some variation in how thick it really is. In my case, this chunk is actually pretty spot on. Okay, now I'll use this square to get the fence an inch away from the wire. Just like that. And I don't need the speed square for this step. I just hold one of the flat, squared edges against the fence and run it through. Depending on what part of the world you live in, you may have access to different kinds of XPS. In some parts of Europe, for example, you can get nicer, denser foam in more thicknesses. Denser foam takes textures and impressions better, but for our purposes, this stuff works fine. Now, in the other dimension, this flat edge is quite small, which makes the piece wobbly and hard to move along the fence while maintaining a right angle. So, back to the speed square. And with a few cuts, we've got some cubes, which you can see are 1 inch in all dimensions. And now we can cut up the rest of that offcut. And we've got a nice little heap of cubes.